Alright, welcome along to the review channel, and we're going to talk about a show that you need to watch. This is an oldie but a goodie. I can kind of recall it from childhood. I remember actually having the toys of the show, the little police car, the little I think there was a motorbike there as well. There's definitely a helicopter. I can remember that. It is the classic TJ Hooker. Now, I've just looked at some reviews of it online, and it seems like it's one of these shows that you're either going to love or you're going to detest it. But I absolutely adore this show. It's been repeated on television right now here in the UK, and I'm doing an episode every other night along with the brother as we eat dinner, checking it out along with an hour show, but that's a different video. It is William Shatner, and the starring roles TJ Hooker, cop, policeman, and he's one of these characters. He's a 15-year veteran in the LA Police Department, and he was a detective. Much like Captain Kirk, whenever he got the higher promotion, wasn't happy, so he came back down to the street cop level. He's partnered up with Vincent Romano, played by Adrian Smed, I want to say. We had this show also introduces Heather Locklear. She's great on it as well. Richard Hurd as the captain. And James Darn comes on later in the series as another officer to be teamed up with the Heather Locklear character. But it's one of these shows that is good, clean family entertainment. Brilliant show. And a great example of, people say these days in shows that, there's a lot of, like, it gets very preachy and whatnot in your face about things. This show, in my mind, is the perfect example of how to do that sort of thing right. Like you've always had on television and movies throughout the years. A good story will have, I don't want to say preaching in it about social issues, but it's gotten out of hand these days. It's just not done well. Like, talking about William Shatner here, Star Trek is a classic example of that. The 60s show, Next Generation, DS9, all that sort of stuff, all had references to real life in there and had a message to put across, but done intelligently, and there's a compelling story built around it. TJ Hooker is very, very good at this, and there is moments where William Shatner's TJ Hooker, he does get into an issue in the series, and he really points out the corruption or what's wrong with the world, and it's all through the lens of police and how the system doesn't work at times. But again, having said that, like, whenever he does get up and does the odd little speech in here, it does kind of get into your face at times, but the story that's built around it is compelling enough that you can forgive that sort of thing. But very, very good show. It's one of these series that I haven't came across a bad episode on it so far. Like, we're only on two, and we did watch it about 10 years ago, but it kind of gets away from me after a certain amount of time. But we're in almost the end of season 2 at the moment on this rewatch, and there hasn't been a bad episode yet. The pilot of it was incredible, very, very good. The Vincent Romano character is one of these soldiers coming back from Nam, so he has that little bit of post-traumatic stress in that pilot episode that has to be dealt with. There's a great episode in there where he gets shot, he's winged in the head, and he's got the whole survivor syndrome thing going throughout that episode, and TJ Hooker's trying to get him through that, because he's also went through a similar situation of having been shot on the job, and the difficulties you'll have getting back out into the real world again and getting back into the job. Are you going to be the officer you want to be, or are you going to freeze in the spot? It's set around police training, so they're street cops, but at the same time TJ Hooker is training new people in like a police academy as well. It is a great little show. If you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend you checking it out. It's very rare that you get a series that doesn't have any dudded episodes, and for me personally, that's been very, very good so far. So there's a little recommendation for you. Go and check out TJ Hooker.